My topic is, I've decided, is going to be, I was watching this video yesterday with Patrick Bet David that was, so I'm going to go a little bit deeper than this hypothetical question, but first I'm going to get your answers. Would you rather be the weakest member of the best team or the strongest member of the worst team? Dylan?
Both of those give me anxiety.
And why? Should we ask somebody else first? You think about it?
No, I think I have an answer, but it's gonna be a bit of a cheat again. I think I'd probably, for my own personal mental health. Oh, no, because now I'm thinking like that. And that question doesn't say I'm actually good in any way. It's just I'm really good on a bad team if I'm the best. If I'm good at what I do and I'm enjoying practicing the craft.
Let's treat it like it's just a relative question, just compared to the other guys on your team, not compared to everybody at that thing.
My ability doesn't improve?
I think I'd rather be the worst player then. No, because then they're going to hate you. I don't know. This is tough. You guys answer.
I'm usually the worst player, so it'd be fun to be the best player.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Again, everybody wants to assume that means a relative increase in skill. It would suck for the rest of my team if they were all worse than me at pretty much every sport.
It doesn't have to relate to sports. We could be a team as Cahoots, right? Or you could a team at your workplace or whatever.
Right.
Right? Just a team. You know? So you don't.
Well, if it translates to more pie, then yeah, I want to be the best. No, that's yeah. Do you want to? I don't know. Immediately, it's hard to not take that to a place of like other people judging you, where it's like, do I want to be the
I guess that's a factor.
That's
something that you'd consider. Yeah.
I guess it's where I went, right? Like and I kind of taken that out of something Bob said off camera and something that Dylan just said. Like, do I want to be hated for being the worst guy on the team, or do I want to be hated for being the best guy on the team?
Okay. Well, how do you? That assumes that people are going to hate you for assuming a position. Like, and people probably won't. Like, you're just part of that team, right? So let's just say you are not hated by any other member of the team. But what position would you rather fill?
Water boy.
Water boy.
If all other things are equal, I'd rather be good at what I do, or at least like. I don't know, because it's
what about you, man?
All right, the way I look at it is, I want to be on the best team.
Yeah.
Because even if it's the smallest piece of the best team, you're still the best team.
Yes.
Which means to be the best team, you have to be put together.
Yes.
So even the worst, you're only as good as your worst member.
Yeah. So
to me, I'd much rather be the worst member of the best team.
Mm-hmm.
Not only because of that, but because you have the whole rest of the team to learn from.
That's you took the words out of my mouth.
Pretend I said what Bob said.
So yeah, just because people, you become like who you hang around with. That's a proven fact. You're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? So if you're surrounded by people that are all stronger players than you, then they're going to challenge you, and you're slowly going to elevate your game.
You may still be below them,
but
you're going to always be rising above everyone else.
Right. Whereas if you're the strongest member on the team, then it's always easier to pull somebody into a pool than pull somebody out of a pool. So just based on my experience, I would also rather be the weaker member than try and rely on my willpower and my own fortitude to bring the rest of the team up. Yeah. Especially if it's a weak team. I don't know. So that's why I would choose that answer.
Unless I was LeBron James.
Unless you're LeBron James, yeah. Okay.
I think I'm off my shit. Never mind.
Just yell, Dylan.
Are you wearing a BB-8 sock?
Yeah, I am. One BB-8, one Ray. But hold on, I'm coming back. I have a thing.
Okay.
I forget what my thing was going to be. It was something insightful and clever.
Not intentionally being a flatterer here, but I tend to work with people that I think are very skilled. Like I think I live by the principle you guys are talking about. Like when I was doing comedy, I hung out with the people I admired as comedians. Mm-hmm. When we were doing my sketch troupe, I think they're the funniest people I know. I wouldn't want to now. Like when you phrase it that way, no one wants to be on a team full of people that they think suck. Yeah. If you're choosing your team members, you're not going to be like. Mm-hmm. But some people, I guess, if you're really an egotist and you just want to,
that's the thing. It's kind of a question of
or you're a freak and you have no choice but being the best.
Yeah, and those people tend to be loners, right? Like,
And that's why I said unless I was LeBron
It's lonely
James, because it's like if you're
Yeah.
LeBron James, you're never going to be the worst player on your team. So you might as well.
That's true. Like, I guess, like,
I
some
did
people
get
just
really
are
good at
naturally
ultimate
that
frisbee.
guy. Like, I like everyone's met one. Everyone knows that guy. They went to school with that guy who was just like really good at something, right? Like, and
Or all the things he tries.
or
every
all the
time.
things, yeah. Like some
Learns
people
how to
just,
surf in 45 seconds.
and like I definitely know guys like that. They were just like they didn't have to work to be good at whatever they were, and that's not a judgment on those people. They still worked. They didn't need to, but if they stopped working on their craft, they'd still be better than the average
It's like
person.
that quote: "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like some people just have that innate ability, and the ones who you notice and don't hate are the people who have that ability and use it and don't squander it and work hard to make it better. Like a guy like LeBron James, I guarantee you that guy, like he wouldn't be where he is if he didn't also work really hard at being great.
For sure.
But there's not a lot of drama in that. No sports movie is, well, few sports movies are, they're the best team in the league at the start, and then they're the best team in the league in the middle of the season, and then they win it all at the end.
Yeah.
And,
And
worst case, it's Mighty Ducks 2, where they're good, and then they suck for a second, and then they beat Iceland anyway.
or it's Rocky,
Yeah.
Or
So
where they try really hard and they don't succeed.
so
which
this
makes
video.
the first Rocky movie the best and most exciting sports movie that ever happened, and every other Rocky movie just fails.
I hold so many movies. So a brief sidebar that actually does relate, but in film, movie about the Imitation Game. A guy, what's his name?
Alan Turing.
Alan Turing. It's a movie about someone who is so exceptional that they cannot play with a team. He doesn't care what anyone else thinks. He's a jerk in that movie, but he comes out on top. Now, anytime I see a movie with a character like that, I compare it to Rocky, because Rocky isn't necessarily Alan Turing, but he's exceptional. He is exceptional in a way that no one understands. But Rocky, they don't like. He's a schmuck.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason Mickey's constantly berating him. He's a loser. Like Rocky is a loser, but you love him anyways, and that to me is what Alan Turing. So if you're writing a movie about what we're talking about, try and make the guy lovable, please, because I was so upset by the end of Imitation Game because I was like, this guy's just a jerk. He exemplifies the problem we're talking about with people who just surround themselves with mooks who can't do anything, not intentionally, but that's how he sees it. And like Rocky is the opposite. He's exceptional in this world of terrible, but he doesn't see himself as exceptional. He doesn't treat it like that, and he still works hard to get to where he goes.
And I love how the movie Rocky sort of parallels his own life too, Sylvester Stallone's life, because he wrote this film and pitched it to everybody. No, and he was actually homeless and like destitute, had to sell his dog, and then
I think he was in
ended
a
up,
porno
like,
too.
Yeah, whatever, make ends meet, right? Yeah. So So they say, I was just going to say this Patrick Bet-David video that I was watching yesterday where he was just kind of laying out the 7 things that are the biggest contributors to somebody being successful in the long run. And that was one of the biggest predictors of if you were going to be successful or not was, are you surrounded by people? Are you the worst in your group, essentially? Like, are you surrounding yourself with people that are going to challenge you and push you, right? So...
It's funny how much like I always try and take things to a place of like writing, and like if you like, and I'm bringing it back to Rocky for a second, but like really like it's writing is framing something, and it's the same way you have to act mentally to like keep yourself in a good frame of mind is to sort of reframe these things. And again, I'm gonna because I've gone on rants about this before, but Alan Turing, everyone sees himself as an underdog, right? Like everybody does. So when you're writing a character and when you're writing your own story, when you're sitting there thinking about yourself, remember that like you still have to work hard to be who you want to be. Even if you're exceptional, like you need to frame it as like I can still grow, I can be better, like Rocky does. Mm-hmm. He's surrounded by losers and he's a loser, but he's exceptional. He's great. He's got the fighting spirit, he's got the winning spirit.
I hope he's a grower, not a shower.
Oh, you're just sitting there looking up at Sylvester Stallone pornos.
Well,
it probably.
But really, like you get to write your own story, You really do. Like, you get to be the person in your head that decides whether you're an underdog or you're just the big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
And like, is it worth it to be the person who's a big fish in a small pond? Do you really want to feel like that for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Well, there's the other saying that the more you know you don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's true wisdom, really. Like, I feel silly for even thinking that maybe I would want to be the best person on the worst team, because it really is just.
Well, there's merit to that too. That's, I think, everybody's initial guttural instinct is like, well, I want to. Your ego steps in and says, well, I'd obviously rather get the attention and be the best, right? Mm. And so that's natural.
And to steal from something you were saying earlier, what if you find yourself in that situation where it's like, okay, I guess I am the best? Then what do you do? You have to think about it ahead of time, because I think you're right.
That's it.
The way to approach that is like, okay, everybody, let's get better together.
Yeah.
But if you look around and you realize you're the best and you decide to walk, you're not doing yourself any favors, and you're definitely not helping the team you just abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do what Rocky does and take on the champ, and then go back and live in your small neighborhood in Philadelphia. And
yeah, but not everything is an individual experience. Like, boxing
that's true.
That
is. I'm really forcing it really hard to make that metaphor work.
Yeah, there's
but
no
taking on the champ, that part of it, like, go and challenge yourself. Right, I think that is the trick. There is, if you are in that situation, like, maybe the people around you aren't challenging yourself, but you still can.
Yeah, but if it's again, we're talking about the team, right? Yeah, so if the rest of your team isn't up to getting you to the championship, what do you do? Mm-hmm. That's when that question gets really hard, because it's like, do you just show up and be awesome, or do you really?
I think it's your role. If you are the strongest player on a team, you're naturally going to be, let's just say, the captain of that team, and it's your responsibility to motivate.
But is it your job to make yourself the captain, or do you wait until everyone kind of thrusts it upon you?
I don't know that it's even something that needs to be like a intentional decision. I think that some people just own leadership qualities and then just kind of default into that role, right? So,
but there's still a choice to be made, right? Like, you can, like, is Tesla gonna go to Mars by himself? Like, he might.
Tesla's long dead. Elon
I
Musk.
think he's lampooning my lack of memory for one of the most famous names in all of culture at this moment.
Yes, I was attempting to poorly.
No, I got it.
But
I was giggling.
It begs the question to me: if nobody will listen, then, like, does he just say, "See you later, Earth," and takes off and, like?
Yeah.
Well, but the other thing is he's relying on his team to get him there. So I think what you'd end up doing is the people that don't have it would end up going away, and then those positions would get filled by people that share that same drive to realize that project, make it real. I don't know.
You're sounding weirdly like Ayn Rand now.
Like who?
Like Ayn Rand. As much as I know I'm supposed to be the one always ranting about Rand.
I was about to say,
I don't know.
We definitely need to wrap, and we're definitely going to, this is going to be like the 4th podcast where we end on Ayn Rand.
I'm moving to Colorado.
Yeah. The Randian podcast.
Are
you feeling randy?
The randiest podcast.
Then check out the Cahootscast.
Thanks to Bob.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Thank you for watching. And if you're not watching, wait. Check us out on Facebook. Go ahead, like and subscribe and comment. Bob, what's the name of your business there? So check you out.
Internet marketing, web design, development, gemweb.com, GEMWEBB.com.
You should have, like, at least one person visit that website, considering our viewership is rather small. That would be... But maybe someday people will go back and rewatch this.
Yeah, that's it. If you need me to work with you and make your business work, let's do it.
Yeah. Luckily, everyone who does watch is pretty local, so...
Yeah.
Cool beans. All right, guys. Bye.
Thanks.
Love you.